Welcome back. This will be the third episode of Power Ratings. I'm still helping Champions Chat out with a little bit of their backlog, trying to get them caught up to their current MLC while Rusty's on sabbatical, and Lee is, boy, he's a busy man. So the third one that I'm going to do here is Koko Ware. Certainly a fan favorite. I see him all over the place. People really seem to like the Birdman here. And I figured that would be a great one to power rate. Also, that's the one that was voted for on the Champions Hub Discord, which is a Discord that I like to hang out in. Link will be in the description. So Koko Ware is the S tier from, I believe it was August. Could be wrong. I don't remember, but I believe it was August. And he is a Powerhouse Legend Era card. Legends Era Powerhouse is a little crowded right now, but everybody that sits there on the top three is pretty good. As a trainer, green moves start with 2 more move points. Purple gems start with 50%, or purple gems do 50% more damage. This has historically been a 3 in all of the previous power ratings, so we know what that's going to end up being. All right. This Koko has hype level 2 on it. Don't worry, I will do the math to show exactly what the damage is before hype, and that's what we're going to rate everything off of. It's going to be difficult for me to do these without having some hype show up every once in a while. So I will do all of the math to show them at hype level 0, since hype affects everybody equally, right? Each hype level 1 is 19.73% increase in all damage. Hype level 2 versus a hype level 0 is a 37.99% increase, etc., etc. So we're just going to look at it as if, I will do the math as if he's a hype level 0. Cool. I'm also, much like EO, I'm going to talk about 2 different movesets, and we're going to show 2 different movesets off. I'm only going to power rate one of the movesets, but I think while I've got you here, it's important to show the versatility of the cards themselves. So I'm going to start with the moveset that I'm not going to power rate as far as damage or anything like that, but it is an insanely decent moveset. And I snagged it from Merrick's. So shout out to Merrick's. Everybody knows who Merrick's is if you're watching this video. But yeah, I snagged it from him. And he likes it because it's a 2-click with very, very limited reversal risk. That's kind of his bag, right? So it's a Samoan drop. Make 10 random gems into 2-turn countdown gems that will deal 1 million damage when they pop, and make 5 randos into green gems at the end of the countdown. So you're going to have 10 million in unblockable damage from the countdowns going off, and you're going to make 50 green gems. That's the whole board. Plus, this is a reversal move. If opponent generated at least 1 trap gem, then deal some damage, convert all trap gems into multiplied gems of strength 5. This is fantastic. This will help you against Trick Austin's, Trick Cena's, Ozzy's, Acro Seth's, Julius's. There's a lot of trap gem users in the meta right now. This will help against all of them, especially if you don't go first turn. All right, and then that goes into the Sunset Flip Powerbomb. 35 randos into leech gems of strength 1 million when this is maxed, and then finisher 2 million damage when it's maxed. Decrease your countdown gem timers by 2 and pin the opponent. So you're going to toss out 35 million leech gems of strength 1 million, so that's 35 gems of 1 million apiece, so that's 35 million of unblockable, plus the 10 million unblockable here, so that's 45 just from the countdowns and the leech gems alone, and then a little bit of move damage, and then some gem damage on top of it. All right, Entourage, if you notice right here, you've got 10 red MP, so that makes the Entourage a little restrictive. Not a ton, but you do need Roxy, and you do need a 17k Santa Hogan. All right. Without those, you're going to have to go with a running drop kick, and this is a very common reversible move. So just wanted to throw that out there and isolate that. EO is leech gems do 300% more damage. You can use any of the leech gem damage or any of the green gem damage cards here, and probably get away with it. I've got 130% gem damage trap here, Fury 3s. Z-plate, whenever you toss countdowns, increase your gem damage by 50%. And then the buzzard plate, whenever you activate a green move, increase your green gem damage by 50% for a turn. All right. So our opponent here is a rock that has a decent strap and Fury 3s as well. So this is going to be very similar to actual real world scenario. All right. However, the damage this does is going to be skewed a pretty decent amount, but I will math it out for you, and we'll go from there. Don't believe your eyes, believe what I tell you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to toss countdown gems. That's going to trigger both plates. Okay, so we need to look at this green gem right here and notice that we are doing 154, 458 per green gem that we're going to be breaking, right? Now, the next move is the Sunset Flip Power Bomb. The 35 randos into leech gems, those leech gems are going to be 300% stronger from the base. So that basically turns each one of these green gems into X4s, okay? And then you're going to turn the rest of the board into green, which is 14 remaining gems. So how that's going to work as far as damage is concerned, so it's this 154, 458 per green gem broken, and you're going to multiply that by 35 times 4. Hold on. Messed it up. 154, 458. We need 2 parentheses. 35 times 4 plus 14. And that's the total amount of gems broken will be 154. So you'll do 23.7 million from that. And then add in your 45 million damage from the countdown gems and the leech effect itself. That'll put you at 68.7 million damage, which is pretty decent. And they're leech gems, so if you need some health, you'll get it back. You'll get 35 million back, which is pretty nice. Poor Rock here only has 47 million health. We're just going to completely wipe it out. Pretty decent moveset, right? 2 clicks and you're done, as long as you've got Roxy. Hard to reverse. Fast. But boring, admittedly. So let's go to the exciting one. So green double red is the exciting moveset, but is a reversible moveset. So running drop kick, increase your red MP by 11. Slingshot shoulder block, deal 500,000 damage, modified by a 7x7 area into blast, and then deal 500,000 damage and make a 1x2 random area into multiply gems of strength 58. I believe this goes to 60 when this move is maxed. And then the Ghostbuster, deal 3.8 million and make 48 random gems into red gems and pin the opponent. So that's going to be the entire board. MP is high here. There's no way of doing this through Entourage, so you have to use this move. So this is a commonly reversible move. The multiply gems are also commonly reversible. And there is now 1 blast gem reversal card in the game. So 2 and a smidge reversible aspects to this particular move set, where the previous one had just a smidge of reversible. The Entourage, though, is actually, I thought I saved it. I guess I didn't. Cool. The Entourage feels a little bit easier to run than this one does. Really all you need is green MP. So you can use Animal, you can use Goldberg. This will get you to your 6. Over here, Stunning Steve. And then the rarest of the entourage is Zombie Bailey. And I don't really consider Zombie Bailey all that rare anymore. She was an A tier, I believe, right? Last year. If you don't have Zombie Bailey, that's fine. Just use a zombie or Leo or anything that helps with multiplies or anything that helps with red gem damage. Okay? So relatively simple entourage to run. And then we are going to change the strap. And we're going to go to... This, I think, is currently the rare piece in order to get it to work. You need a Frankie plate. Frankie plate, 6 blast gems, increase all your gem damage by 500% for a turn. And then the Titan's Crest, whenever you make 8 or more blast gems, increase the damage all your gems by 200%. So that's a 700% increase in all your gems. Fury 3's 150% gem damage strat. Let's go check this one out. This is the one that I think everybody is familiar with because it's gaudy. It's the only way I can really think of it, right? This is a gaudy moveset. It does a lot of stuff. It's got the largest multipliers I can remember seeing in the game. And then blast gems are kind of in your face anyway, right? Break 1, you actually break 9. And the fact you're filling the whole board with it is kind of insane. And then the fact you put both those plates on there, you're getting a 700% increase in damage is kind of insane. Like, whew, it's a lot. So the way this one works is you're going to break the entire board, and essentially you're breaking 163 red gems. And each red gem is 642,577. And you're breaking 163 of them. That's 104 million. $104 million damage. Not including move, not including these two. How did I lose? Okay. Yeah, not including moves, not including anything that came from here. Just 104 from this breaking of the board. That's pretty silly. That's a silly amount of move damage, or a silly amount of damage. And I think it should be noted that mine is far from optimized. I still have max levels. Let's get back here. Yeah, I'm at level 350 instead of 390, so I have 40 levels I could go. That's roughly 12% of red gem damage. Yeah, 12% of red gem damage you could add, and a full star I'm missing. So it's whoops, wrong button. That's another, just a touch over 10%. So I'm 20% red gem damage away from being optimized here. 120% red gem damage on 104 million is a lot of millions. Like, I don't know. What is that, close to 20? Probably 20 million gem damage increase. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. Not to mention his hype seems to have been pretty common, so a lot of people probably have him hyped up. So that's Koko. That's his famous moveset and a lesser known moveset. Let's take a look at where he sits in the spreadsheet. So 5 categories: damage, speed, readiness, versatility, and entourage. All right. Damage is literally how much damage does it do? S tier, or 4 points, is equal to 80% or more of current meta's top end damage, and current top end damage is about 100 million. We just did 104 unoptimized. So yeah, that's going to be an instant 5. Down here in speed, a 4 for speed, or at least 2 of the following are true. MP charge is 7 or less. Moves recycle flawlessly, and or animations are fairly quick, resulting in a win under 60 seconds in feud. For 3 points, the following are true. MP charge is 8 or more, but can be offset with common trainers. Moves recycle most of the time, and animations are not overly long, resulting in a win in 1 to 2 minutes. And a 5 is at least 2 of the following are true. MP charge is equal to or less than 6. Moves recycle flawlessly, and animations are quick, resulting in a win under 45 seconds in feud. I'm honestly, it's probably a 5, and I don't think there's a lot of conversation that needs to be had about it, right? The MP charge for the green move to set everything up is 6 itself. If you have to recycle, they recycle flawlessly. The finisher paints the entire board red, and then you just do red moves again, turn 2. But you're doing 104 million, so you're probably winning in about 45 seconds or less in feud anyway. Maybe a minute. Here's the one that catches a lot of people up. Readiness. Character needs 3 special things: plate, gear, moment, rare trainer, etc. to make them work well. Character needs 2 special things: plate, gear, moment, rare trainer to make them work well. Or character needs 0 to 1 special thing to make them work well. I'm pretty sure this one is a 5. The Frankie plate helps get it to its ultimate top end damage, right? So I would say that the Frankie plate is kind of necessary. I think you could maybe argue that Zombie Bailey is a rarer thing, but I don't think you necessarily need Zombie Bailey. I think you just, honestly, I think you can get away with a Titan plate and probably be okay if you really needed to. I think it puts you at a 0. I think it puts it at a 5, and I don't think there's really much of a conversation. He's kind of plug and play. Big Show and Smiles in chat agrees with me. They're giving me 5s. Big Show gave me 2 5s. He is that adamant about Koko being a 5 for readiness, so I'm not going to go against the Big Show. Versatility. Character is competitively usable in one of the following game modes: feud, boss, showdown, maybe a sleeper occasionally for boss. Character is competitively usable in at least 2: feud, boss, showdown. Has gems or type that helps in boss and or extreme rules. Character is competitively usable in feud, boss, showdown, all 3, and has a special gem type that will help in boss and extreme rules, or maybe even Gemmania. Maybe that's something to think about as well, since we've had a lot more step tours. I have a hard time arguing against a 5 here as well. I see plenty of Kokos in feud. It's fast enough. Showdown, he's a little reversible in his main move set, but his secondary move set isn't. I've also seen plenty of Kokos in Showdown. He has, I feel like, has been a heavy hitter the last 2 bosses, or at least has been able to be set up with hype to be a hitter in boss. He has 2 specialty gem types that he messes with in both Blast and Leech. Yeah. This card rules. And then we talked about it at the very beginning. It is a niche trainer coaching ability because it is offset. The MP edition is, or the MP does not match the gem color that he boosts. And that has historically always been a 3. Yeah, he's a 22. No, he's a 23, sorry. This seemed kind of cut and dry. He was very clearly a 5 in literally every category except for his trainer. And quite frankly, I don't think there's much discussion about the 5s. Because all of the 5s are like absolutely, the 5s that we have here are so well defined. Koko fits so well into them that that's really kind of hard to make a counter argument. Maybe the biggest argument you can get is maybe he's not so great in Showdown. Maybe is that really a good argument? I don't think that's a great argument at all. He's a great character. He's a great card. Easy to rate. He just rules. What do you think? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Where would you rate him? Let me know down in the comments. If you've learned anything today, if you've been entertained by anything today, or if you just happen to like the sound of my voice, do me a favor, click like, click subscribe, share to your faction mates, go sub to Champions Chat. The guys who typically do this, go sub to 2Bob, one of the guys that helped put this together. Shoot, maybe subscribe to me. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.